everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, and that's the cat, due to Whip Parade season, I noticed I have had a few new subscribers, then a very, very warm welcome to you. And if you are returning, as ever, thank you for coming back and spending some more time with me today. I am joined by Lauren, sans glasses, but with her lunch. What are you having today? Katsu curry. Katsu curry today. And I've just come to share with you my Flosstube update. So, I have actually worked on 9 projects this week, 8 of which I can show you. One of them is a model stitch, so unfortunately I can't show you those. I have 1 finish as well. So I'm just going to go through them. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Cat was starving. Yeah, she's been starved. She's waiting for dinner. So she's going to be vocal until she's fed. Ah, here comes the food. There you go, Cat. Right, okay. Yeah, so I've got 9 projects, one of which is a model stitch, another is a finish, 7 works in progresses. So I'm just going to go through them as they, as I work them during this last week. I just realised I forgot to do something on here, just bear with me. I also have a little haul to show you. If I didn't show you last week, I can't remember, so I'm going to show it again. Let me just check these. Yes, okay, right, so I've got in a tremendous amount of stitches, but it's kind of not fully accurate, if that makes sense, which I'll explain when I get to Symphony. Okay, so the first piece I worked on, let me just go through my whip pile here, is, it's going to be a long Flosstube, by the way. It's going to be a bit longer than normal. This is Gogh Never Passed, and it's from Unconventional X Stitch. It's quite a large piece, 250,000 stitches I want to say. Yeah, 250,000 stitches. Started it earlier this year, working it 1/1 full cross on some 25 count even weave. Top left start. It's gone from 1.52 to 1.92%. Let me just randle a little fabric there. And there we go. So this is the top left. And first, pretty much the first 4 10 deep wide rows are done. So yeah, 1,000 stitches, 1.52 to 1.92%. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Just, you know, 1,000 stitches at a time in progress. It's great for me. It ticks that progress box. I can see 1,000 stitches. Okay, so the second one I worked on, I did debate whether to show this, but I have worked on it actually in this stitching week. Here comes Lauren. Got a nice drink. Okay. No, sorry, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. No, I don't want to view the PDF, I want to view the mock-up. There. Second one I worked on is this one. So this is B, and its artwork is Lorna Laine, charted and kitted by Geckorouge. So we are into July now, so you will recall that during June I was doing 100 stitches a day, plus any rotation time that came up for B, and it actually had 3,000 stitches plus 1,900, 4,900 stitches during the month of June on this piece, which I was really, really happy about. I got in a lot of progress, and it's now at, I'm only showing 100 stitches in this Flosstube. It went from 13.17 to 13.21%. So, I mean, to be fair, I got, you know, a decent chunk done. Again, stitched 1/1 full cross, this time on some 25 count easy count. And as you can see there, we've got a wing pretty much complete by a couple of ninja stitches, and we've started these honeycombs and working our way down. So this has now gone back into regular rotation, and the 100 stitches a day piece has changed. But yeah, super happy with how that piece progressed during the month of June. And you know, kind of feel sad for not stitching on it on my daily 100, because what I did was, in my Simply, if you're new around here, you may or may not know, I have a Facebook group, Simply a Stitcher and Friends. And what we do in that group is it's a month to stitch along, and it's led by you. So you pick a piece, we choose the theme together, and you pick a piece that you want to work on, and you yourself nominate how many stitches you want to do. For me, it's 100 stitches a day that I can put into it, that piece. First thing in the morning, my first stitches are my 100 a day. So last June, in June, the stitch along theme was June bug, which was nature. So animals, scenery, flowers, butterflies, birds, fantasy, reality, whatever. For me, it was 100 stitches a day on bee, which is clearly a nature piece, nature themed piece. Other people chose some scenery or a long dog sampler, or whatever. And for me, I opted to do the 100 stitches a day. And then in July, the stitch along theme has changed, which I'll get to in a bit when we get to that piece. So the next piece that I worked on was the completion of a model stitch that I had, and I'd put in another 374 stitches on that before I sent it back. So just for those of you who don't know, model stitching is paid work. So I'm sent materials and pattern for a cross stitch piece that is to be published in a book, a magazine, a part work, something like that, dependent on the theme of it. And I get it sent to me, and I have a time frame to complete it and send it back. I'm always ahead of that time frame. They give me about 6 weeks, and I'm usually done in 2, if that. The last piece that I had took me 2 days, and it wasn't even 2 days just on that. It was 2 days after doing my daily stitches with my stuff. So there you go. So that is that. So next one that I want to show you is my finish. So again, if you are new here, I do 2 live streams a week, one on a Sunday, one on a Wednesday, and my Wednesday live stream is dedicated to my focus for a finish. And just recently, it's been the stitch along piece that I started in May for Stitch Mania, again in my group, and pieces by Michaela Lerner, available on her Etsy shop, Charts and stuff. There are some sister pieces to it, but on last Wednesday's live stream, I finished Symphony. So it's stitched 2 over 1 on some 18 count Ada, and now I have my third finish. Yes, third finish of 2025. One more and I can have another new start. So yeah, and this is why my stitch count is high, because this was not compatible with Pattern Keeper, but it is on a gridded fabric. So what I did was I only marked off 100 stitches. I just kept a tally chart whenever one of the squares was completed. So there were times, like when I was working on the bottom here, I did all of the dark colours, but it didn't fit in a square, so I didn't mark it off. And then when I came in to do the lighter colours and filled in the square and marked it off, they clearly weren't 100 stitches, but obviously it logs 100 stitches because I'd not logged them before, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm showing, over 12,500 stitches this week. It's not that my needle's been on fire, it's just that the way that I stitched this one, because with it not being Pattern Keeper compatible, I figured that I would kind of cross country after doing the first month, kind of cross country the rest, but then when I filled in a square, mark it off, and it's worked quite well. So but yeah, that Symphony is done, and Michaela is in our Facebook group. She's seen it and she's published it as well on her Cross Stitch Guild Facebook page. So if you're interested, you can go and pop along and have a look at that. But to finish Symphony, I put in 2,000, I think it was 2,200 stitches, although I could be wrong, it could be 2,100. Let me just double check. And it went from 89.28% to the finish line. so I was happy about that. No, 2,100 stitches, so I was incorrect at that. So 2,100 stitches to finish Symphony, so my weekly total is actually 12474, so just under 12,500. Okay, so what did I work on next? So next piece that I worked on was Out on a Stitch with Me, and it was Out on a Chatty Stitch with Me, and it was this one. This is Unicorn. Its artwork is Lorna Laine, and again charted and kitted by Geckorouge. We like the unicorn, don't we? She's eating like ice lolly now. Okay, so Unicorn, I had some really good progress on this one. Because I finished Symphony, I was also able to pick it up briefly on my live stream as well. So Unicorn, I added in 1,000 stitches, 4.56 to 6.54%, and again it's stitch 1/1 full cross on some 25 count, and it's quite clear where I was stitching. So the unicorn's horn, just there you go, those are just park threads under that needle minder. So the unicorn's horn is largely in, and a little bit of the blue background. Again, I'm leaving the very lightest colour until the very end because I don't want them to get the stitches to get dirty. So yeah, 1,000 stitches, 4.56 to 6.54%, 1/1 full cross on some 25 counts, and I'm super happy with how Unicorn is looking. This was also a contender for the June stitch along, but I decided not. Okay, so as I had a finish with Symphony, it means now that my focus for a finish has changed. So the next piece down with the least stitches outstanding is again another Geckorouge piece, and it was a freebie which I did sort of snab, and then I added a kit to it that's a kit with another cat on it. So this is Christmas Cat. I've also got the Witchy Cat, which you'll have probably seen on a previous video or on my work parade. But yeah, this is Christmas Cat. So this one is the smallest, the least amount of stitches. So this one has now become my focus for finish. So I've been working on it this week, and I have got, I've gone from 7.54 to 13.62%. I've colour completed 2 colours, and I've done 2,100 stitches, and it's 1/1 full cross on some 25 count. So it's just a little bit under the frame there as well, but you can see the reds that I've done. I've started to fill in a little bit of the black up here and some of the blue for the snowflake. So I figured that if I'm not recording, I can do the blue, the backgroundy stuff, and you know, if I am recording or whatever, then you know, fill in, or you know, even if I get bored, just jump from one to the other. So yeah, 2 colours completed, 1/1 full cross, 25 count, 2,100 stitches this week, 7.54 to 13.62%. And according to Stitch Pal, which is the app I use to track my stitches, then I should be finished by mid-August. Fingers crossed. But we will see. There's a lot of, you know, water to go under the bridge between now and then. Okay, 2/3 of the way through the stitching. What was next? So the next piece that I've worked on is one of my Lord of the Rings pieces. Again, if you're new here, big fan of the Lord of the Rings. This is One to Rule Them All, and it's a Tilton Crafts chart. I do also have the Realm of Middle-earth map, but yeah, I just love the Lord of the Rings series of films. The family don't quite get it, but I'm not bothered. See, she's shaking her head. Okay, so One to Rule, I've added in 1,000 stitches, and again, I've talked about this before. So unless this appears on a stitch with me, or any of my pieces, unless they appear on a stitch with me, I'm doing what's called mapping. So this is the top left corner, and all of the stitches here that are going in where this white is are all going to be 310. So I can just mindlessly stitch those and then save the other nice stuff for doing stitch with me's and things. So I've added in 1,000 stitches of black on this week. So from about here along, that's all been done. But yeah, not really an awful lot to say, or not really an awful lot to see. Once the black is done here, there's a little bit on the other side, but not an awful lot. So then when I started this, I started it about here, and then I mapped in right up to the top edge, so that I knew that anything from the free edge upwards was just going to be 310. So yeah, 1,000 stitches. Where am I? 5.47 to 6.71%, 1/1 full cross, 25 count fabric. And I've been very brave with this one because I haven't put any grid lines on it whatsoever. So let's hope that I don't make any mistakes. So that is one to rule them all. Okay, so spare stitch Saturday. So again, for those of you just joining, I have a set way of doing my rotation. I have a Monday and Tuesday piece, a Wednesday, Thursday piece, a Friday, Saturday piece, and a Sunday stitch. My aim is for each of those 4 groupings to get at least 1,000 stitches, and then work on model stitch, focus for a finish, whichever. However, on a Saturday, whenever I get free time for stitching on a Saturday and I'm up to date with all my rotation stitches, I have adopted what I call spare stitch Saturday. So if I don't have a model stitch on, then the piece I will pick up is this one. So this is Night Cafe. Its artwork is by Leonid Afremov and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this, the reason for this one being spare stitch Saturday is it's my biggest piece. It is 991,008 stitches, so getting on for 1,000,000 stitches, and it's massive. I mean, obviously I had it out of frame for my whip parade, but it's back in the frame now. So on spare stitch Saturday this week, I managed to complete my next section, so I'm ready to move the hoop, which is why I put it down and picked up Christmas cap. I did 1,400 stitches, and I've now finally made it over 10%. We were at 9.95% and we are now at 10.09%. Yes, I know I can. Thank you. Yes, I know I can. You didn't give me one for the finish. Thank you. Yes, I know we can see the lines there. I'm not concerned. Yes, I can see white splotches behind the back. I'm not concerned. This is 2/110 stitch on some 25 count. So when it's washed, it will sort itself out. I am more than content with that. So this here, what you can see is the top part of the lamp that's in the middle. Can I just have the mock-up? So the lamp that's just there, that is where I have just stitched down. So when I open it in Pattern Keeper, so that is the full area that I've stitched. So cafe sign, the top of the lamp is there, and we are literally just past a halfway point on the top row. We are about wait a minute. We are 4 stitches before after the halfway point on the top row. So yeah, 2/110 stitch, 25 count. So I will be moving the hoop on this one, and all being well, this Saturday it'll come out again, spare stitch Saturday, because I'd like to get in at least another 2% this year. So I'm at 10% at the moment. I want to get to around 12%. So if I fill in the next 100 stitch wide by 200 stitch down section by the end of the year, I'll be happy. So there we go. And the very last piece, luckily for Lauren, is not on Pattern Keeper. I have forgotten the mock-up. It's not a Flosstube, unless I forget. Oh, I think I know which one it is. You think you know what's coming? Oh, yeah. So, again, going back to my Facebook group, so my July stitch along. What's that in your phone? A July stitch along, the theme is winter stroke Christmas stroke Jolly July. So if you have a Christmas piece and you want to work on it, great. Something with Father Christmas on it, a wintry scene, whatever. Or if you have a winter scene and you just want to work on a wintry themed picture, or something that will tie in somehow to winter, then that's the monthly style for this month. So for me, I don't have any Christmas themed kits or charts. Well, I do, but I haven't started any. But I do have a winter themed one. So this is my pick. This is Ice Dragon, and it's charted and kitted by Sarah up at Paine Free Crafts. No, kitted by Sarah. Designer Nadezhda Gavrilenkova, artist Tatiana Verkovskaya. So, and Sarah's kitted this up. So I've chosen this one for my monthly stitches, my monthly stitch along, for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's not on Pattern Keeper, so I'm working from a paper chart. Secondly, it's on black fabric, which makes for the challenge, and I can work on it for a while, but I have to be in good light. So I've been working on this one 100 stitches a day, plus it was out for my Sunday stitch this last week. So it's actually had 2,000 stitches of progress since the 1st of June last Tuesday. Can I just, it's all right, let's put that behind it. So that is where we are at now. So there are 2 pages here, so it does go up a little bit. 2 pages here, which are pretty much in the middle. So I'm actually not far off. I finished this row, and then the row underneath are partial blocks, and I will have done 2 pages on this, and the main sort of section in the middle. So comparing it to the mock-up, so you can see there that is the dragon's head, which is what I've got here. So yeah, and it's looking fab. I enjoy working on it for the most part. It is on 27 count black even weave, so as long, for me, there's 2 ways of working on black fabric. Either have really good light at the bottom so you can see the holes, or really good light at the top. And for me, good light at the bottom doesn't work. I have to just have good light at the top. So as long as I've got a decent light, overhead light at the top, I can work on it no problem. But yeah, so I was really pleased this week. I managed to get in 2,000 stitches on that. Oh, so that's all the stitching. So can I just borrow that for my haul? I don't know if I showed this last week, but it's worth mentioning again, because again, if you are in my Simply a Stitcher and Friends Facebook group, we also have another sale going, an open-ended one. I saw this chart, I loved it, and I'm like, I have to get that. And I showed it in the group, and lots of people were like, oh yeah, I like that. And I'm like, okay. So I went and bought it, and I've opened an open-ended stitch along. So if you do like this chart, or you have it and you want to join the Facebook group, hit on the events tab and you'll find the stitch along. So this chart, is by the Cross Stitch Studio. So it's the first chart that I've had from them. Unfortunately, it's got a watermark across the mock-up there, so it's not terribly easy to see. But this is called Tree of Life, and it's like a stained glass piece, and I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. It is a biggie. It's 600 by 600. There are over 50,000 black stitches in it, over 50,000 stitches of 310, 150 colours. Where's the mock-up? Yeah, 53,000 black stitches, so it's a lot. My plan with it is I'm going to put it on the spinning wheel of doom. And as you know, I've got another stained glass one going, the Lord of the Rings stained glass, where I'm doing all of the black first. But what I figured that I'd do with this one, you can see there on Pattern Keeper, you can see, just about see the green lines. So that's all the black. So the way I figure I'm going to tackle this one is I'm going to map. So I'm going to map a section in black and then fill it in, and then do the next section and then fill it in. So ultimately what's going to happen, just going a bit closer here, is that I'll do this section followed by this section followed by this section and so on, and I'll build it up literally leaf by leaf, I think, when it comes out. But yeah, 600 by 600, so it is a biggie. But as I said, if you are interested in doing that, you can hop on to the Stitch Along on my Facebook group. Yeah. So what's coming up on channel this week? I have got a stitch with me with with the Realm of Middle-earth map. I think it's a music one. I could be wrong. Realm of Middle-earth map, is it music?
The one you did yesterday?
The one I did, yeah. Monday, yeah. Yeah. It is with music. Phew. The Christmas cat will be coming up on the Wednesday live stream, but I've not taken it out of rotation, even though it's focused on a finish. I've still kept it in the rotation because it was due to come out this week. So Christmas cat will be out on a Stitch with me again on Saturday, but you'll also see it on Wednesday night. So the Stitch with me on Saturday will be with chat. Pandora is coming out for some rotation stitches, so we're going to get to see, well, I'm going to get to work on her again. And as you remember, with Pandora, I am doing every stitch apart from the black first. There are over 100,000 stitches of black in Pandora, so I'm leaving all of those till last. And then on Sunday, my Sunday stitch will be Night Orange London, my Sophie Kilpatrick piece, the Geckorouge kit. I will be doing Spare Stitch Saturday this week with Night Cafe, so that will come out on Spare Stitch. Have you had a good old mooch? Fancy any? Fancy learning? I'm trying. So Spare Stitch Saturday, like I said, I will be pulling out Night Cafe this week. So that is all of the stitchy stuff. Other bits of news. Are you coming in to share other bits of news? This one has now got no more school events left ever in the world. That is it, all done for school events. On Monday, we went, yesterday as you're watching this, we had Lauren's very, very last event, the very last time that she will wear a school uniform. And her school host an awards ceremony at Sheffield City Hall, which is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful venue. And people such as Kylie Minogue and Elton John have graced the stage at Sheffield City Hall, and Lauren was walking across it to collect an attendance award. Mm-hmm. So super proud. We went and spent the evening.
Wait, the funny thing is, when they passed us the awards, they didn't even pass us our actual award.
You had to find a person.
You had to figure out who it was.
To figure out who it was. Yeah, they weren't reading them. So we spent the evening being entertained by the kids with music and movement and dance and comedy and all kinds of stuff, weren't there? And so yeah, and that was Lauren's last school event ever. So she's definitely under my feet. I think I'm going to get her stitching. What do you think?
Every single other time I've tried, I've not been able to.
Shall we talk about what happened at slimming class last week? Mm-hmm. Okay, so slimming class last week, Lauren lost another £0.5 pound. Don't stick your tongue out, I'll chop it off. And I lost £1.5 pounds. So I have £6.5 to go to get to my goal. Lauren has £1 to lose to get to her next award. So she's looking forward to that, aren't you? Fingers crossed for this week. What else we've got coming up? So we've got 2 birthdays this week. We've got Grandad on Saturday and my sister on Sunday. But things will continue as they did. We're going to go out with Grandad for his dinner. I'm going to take him out and spoil him a little bit. What do you get an 82-year-old who's got everything he could possibly want? Well, you feed him. So that's what we're doing, isn't it? Do we have anything else to say? Anything else coming to mind? No? Are you sure? Okay. So we're going to end this video with our usual reminders, which are, can you remember them?
No.
3 videos that are coming up on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. For my schedule, I release a Flosstube on a Tuesday. I'm trying Stitch with Me's on Thursdays and Saturdays, and I live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays at what time?
7 o'clock UK time.
7:30 UK time.
Yeah.
She'll have me shot, won't she? So yeah, live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 PM UK time. So if you can join me for any, all, or some of those, it would be much appreciated. And just as a quick aside as well, when it comes to my channel, YouTube has been playing the unsubscribe game again, so please double check that you're still subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, why not? It's free. Yeah, I'm nearly at 2,900 subscribers. That's quite good, isn't it? That's nearly 3,000 people that want to watch little old me. And you. See? Bless her. Right, I'm going to go because I'm on lunch break from work. I'm really sorry this was a much longer than expected Flosstube. So I'm going to say thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care, happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.